Malik Monk enters now to Trey Lyles. Got room to work in the low post. Spins, feeds it out to Keegan. Open for the spray three, and he hits the triple. Kings have the biggest lead of the ball game, up a dozen at 60-48.
Keegan
Murray.
Thank you. The rest of you out there participated. I know you did. In 24 minutes last night, Keegan Murray, 6 of 10, 4 of 8 from 3, made both free throws, 5 boards, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 18 points. His plus-minus, the team best, plus 29 when he was on the floor. I want to get into Keegan Murray, but more importantly, the texters coming in. This is an important one. Chris, can we get Chris to break down why he didn't like the Elimination Chamber and what he would have changed? That's what I want to hear.
How do they know what I felt about?
Do you agree with that? Did you not like it?
Well, the big thing was John Cena turned heel, but
He
it's
did.
just like, dude, this should have happened like 15 years ago. This is like when everyone wants to like him, and now you're going to turn heel? Come on.
Unpredictable.
Was
The Rock heel in that too?
Yes.
Because it looked like he was with The Rock and someone else.
Travis Scott, who ended up really hurting Cody Rhodes because he literally punched him in the head.
Well, they all John Cena was punching him in the head.
No. No.
Chris. Okay. That's what they wanted to know. That's from the 916. So we're taking requests. But Chris is going to be at AEW tomorrow night, everybody.
Come and say hi.
I would say hi at the Memorial Auditorium.
If your seats are good enough.
Woo! Shots fired. Chris living large, living close.
I like how I did a big thing of just like, hey, come on.
Affordable tickets. And here's Chris, front row Chris. You won't turn those down when you get those, will you? And you shouldn't. That's a fun opportunity. Last night, we heard the Keegan highlight there. Keegan was really good. He had a couple of plays that I personally liked a lot. He's going to hit his spray threes. He needs to attempt those. I mean, really where Keegan has only been in trouble with Coach Brown and even now Doug Christie is when he doesn't take his open looks. But he had at least one, it might have been 2. There was one where he got a rebound and started to go coast to coast. And it's like, okay, Keegan, okay. And he just kept going, and he bullied, might have been Dinwiddie all the way through and just went all the way to the basket. I'm like, we don't see that enough of him. And then he did it another time in the half court. And so I feel like we're seeing doses of more aggressive Keegan. And his numbers have been better. The team has played better. I think now last night with that 18-point game, that's happened 10 times this year when he scored 18 or more. And the Kings are 8-2. And I said this to begin the year. It's not a surprise to me that some of Keegan's offensive numbers went down. Let's go back to the beginning of the season when your offense is really featured around Fox, Sabonis, and DeRozan. So I thought it made sense that Keegan's numbers would go down. We also saw Kevin Huerter's numbers go down. And then when you put Malik Monk in the starting lineup, I mean, Keegan's role is a little bit different. Well, now that Fox is gone, and certainly with Sabonis being out, I mean, Keegan, I don't even know if you have to call a number one option. I think DeMar's going to get you 20, and Levine will be at 20 most every night, but Keegan can live there. And so can Malik Monk. And if you get Sabonis there, I mean, it's not absurd to think that you could have 4 or all 5 starters in that 16 to 25 point range. Maybe you don't need somebody going for 35, but if you've got a lot of 16 to 18 point scorers, again, last night, 20 for DeRozan, 16, make it 18 for Keegan, 14 for Valanciunas, 13 for Monk, and 22 for Levine. Really nice production there. It really was nice for the Kings to get that kind of numbers from Keegan, and I still think he can do that more consistently. I also think people develop at different rates. Keegan came in and I think surprised a lot of people with how efficiently he shot the 3 ball in his rookie year. Had a tremendous year beyond the arc. Had a good year 2 and a slow start to year 3, but is really starting to round out into form. When people talk about you need a 3-and-D guy, he's that. He is a really good defender. There's still more offense to go for his game. And Keegan's the type of guy that I still look at as unfinished business. He's not raw, but he played a lot of post, a lot of interior in college. He's still rounding out to the NBA form, and it's happening. People develop at different rates. And I mean, if we go to De'Aaron Fox in year 3, I mean, he was starting to look like, oh man, this guy's going to be pretty darn good. And he became a very, very good player. some guys develop more into year 4, 5, 6, 7 even. I mean, Keegan's still got more growth. And I think these are all good things for the Sacramento Kings. And I think now that they're trying to achieve this as more of a balanced attack, it kind of fits into Keegan's DNA as well. Let's hear what he had to say post-game to the media after the win last night.
Together, we've only been together for a limited time, limited practices, things like that. So I feel like the more we're playing, the more we're feeling each other out. So I think that's just a testament of us getting more comfortable with each other.
What are the things that you can apply from this recent run you guys are on to when the schedule gets more difficult and you start to play some really good teams, including Wednesday?
We're playing good basketball against teams that we should beat. So I think we're playing really good professional basketball right now. So again, like we have a tough one next game. So I'm just trying to translate these last 4 wins and or against better teams.
For you, you seemed pretty aggressive tonight from the start. And I think a lot of times when you're aggressive, I think the Kings, they kind of feed off that. It seems like the team feeds off that. For you, how important is that for you to get aggressive early and see if you go down and just kind of carry the over?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously just a different year, new guys, a lot of transition on our team and things like that. So I think the more I have an impact on the game, the better it is for our team. That's not just offensively, that's defensively too. So just trying to continue to stay aggressive, and just trying to pick my spots where I can.
On the defensive side, I asked Zach this. The defense you guys seem to be communicating a little better out there than maybe when everyone first kind of came in. You guys were figuring stuff out. Do you guys feel that on the court, or what's kind of the vibe on the defensive side for you?
Yeah, I mean, every team you go to, there's similar communication styles and there's similar terms that you use for different things. So we've had a lot of guys come from different teams, so them getting used to our terminology just is easier for us to talk on the court. So guys are picking up on it a lot faster now, and you can see that in our defense performances.
All right, some comments there from Keegan. Russell on our chat has not been impressed by Keegan. He says Keegan, 12, 7-1 guy in 30-plus minutes a game is not great. His best year was still his rookie year, and that's a problem. I think you're looking at just offense. I mean, his numbers are lower than some, and his efficiency. And again, like I laid out, I'm not surprised by that. I think his numbers, the back half of this season or the last 30, will be a little bit better with the departure of Fox and how they'll need Keegan more offensively. But it's a little bit like saying, well, Keon Ellis didn't score last night. Had a bad game. That's not it. There's other value to. You're just looking at offense. Keegan is on the floor and as a starter for his defense too. When he's guarding, last night he started on Kyrie. He's guarded a lot of the other best players on teams, and his value to this team is his two-way ability. And so, if Keegan's numbers, let's just say we're at 20 points per game, that would look better for him, but then DeRozan's would be lower, or Levine's would be lower, or we'd be questioning Malik. It's just kind of way the roster is constructed, and I wouldn't be entirely surprised as Keegan's career goes on as a King, or if he moves on to another team, that his offensive numbers just slowly start to climb. I don't know that it'll ever be a 25-point per game scorer in the league, but there's such value in having guys that could play on both ends. He doesn't hurt you offensively. He's a complement to the offense, and he's certainly a strength to the defense. So that's the way I see it, at least with Keegan Murray. Like on the season, I was looking at season-long plus minus for the team. He's the 4th best on the team. DeMontis, DeRozan, Malik, and Murray. That's the order of the top. And then Keon. That's the 5 best plus minus. Zach LaVine, in a short amount of time with the Kings, is already at plus 71. Valanciunas is up there. All 7 of those are better than De'Aaron Fox as far as plus minus when they're on the floor. So that's a little deceiving, but I mean, you're this far in. I don't think it's that deceiving to say that the minutes Keegan's been on the floor for this team, no matter what he's been around, the team has been 91 points better. So I'm a fan of Keegan. I think there's still more to go for his game. I don't look at him as someone they need to move on from or tweak or adjust or bench or whatever. I think his role is right where it is right now. It's nice. Hits timely threes enough, gives you enough offense, and is excellent on the defensive end. All right, when we come back, The Kings have reached 60 games. It's been a bizarre season, the ups and downs. Doug Christie has coached 29 of them.